A very good afternoon and welcome to Lunchtime News on Channel 1 TV. Taking a look at your headlines. 5 injured in clashes at the Galle prison. 23 persons engaged in illegal gem mining arrested. Thousands of Hungarians rally in central Budapest. Now for those stories in detail, 5 persons including 3 prison officials were injured in a clash that broke out at the Galle prison when a group of inmates attempted to break out of the prison. The police media spokesperson SP Ajit Rohan stated that 2 of the inmates have been injured. Karapiti Hospital spokesperson stated that one of the inmates had sustained injuries when a prison official had opened fire at him.
This morning, an incident occurred in Galle prison, and at 6:45, it was reported that some prisoners were trying to escape from the prison custody while the cells were opened by the prison authorities. So at that time, the prison officials used the minimum force in order to control the situation in the area. So due to this incident, 2 prisoners have been injured and they have been admitted to Galle Karapiti Hospital and they are being treated there. And in addition to that, 3 prison officers also have been injured and they also have been admitted to Karapiti Hospital and they are being treated there. Galle police is conducting investigations into this matter. So we will be able to reveal the whole facts after the investigation.
Deputy Director of the Karapiti Teaching Hospital, Dr. Jayampati Senanayake, stated that the other inmate had sustained injuries in a confrontation. Meanwhile, the Commissioner General of Prisons, P.W. Kodipilly, noted that the inmates had attempted to break out of the prison after assaulting prison guards. The Commissioner General of Prisons went on to say that the prison guards had to confront the fleeing inmates in order to apprehend them. Kodipilly noted that an official from the prison headquarters will be sent to Galle to conduct investigations into the incident. Those who sustained injuries in the incident are currently receiving treatment at the Karapiti Teaching Hospital. The Galle police are conducting further inquiries into the incident.
Well, passengers have expressed their displeasure over the deployment of a normal bus belonging to the Sri Lankan Transport Board on the Southern Expressway. The bus in question operated from Maharagama to Galle last evening.
This bus, which belongs to the Sri Lanka Transport Board, commenced its journey from Maharagama to Galle at 6 last evening. However, owing to protests by the passengers, the bus had to be stopped at the police post stationed near the Pinnaduva access point. The passengers charged that the bus was not suitable to be used on the Southern Expressway. The passengers who had reserved seats in advance also charged that they were not aware of the deployment of this bus. The passengers also noted that a fee of 250 rupees was charged from them for the journey.
There are no seat belts or any sort of security. When we mentioned this, the conductor threatened us by asking us why we got on board. We paid 30 rupees and booked a seat for a ride on an AC bus. This is to travel in comfort. This is an old bus. We had to travel for 2 hours on the highway. There are no seat belts. There are no facilities. There is no one that can be held responsible for this.
When we made inquiries from the chairman of the Sri Lanka Transport Board, MD Bandusena, he stated that the bus had travelled from Galle to Maharagama and was on its way back to Galle.
The Sri Lanka Transport Board operated a normal bus on the Southern Expressway from Galle. The manager at the Galle bus depot told me that this decision was taken owing to a protest and violent behaviour of some passengers who were at the bus depot. He told me that the bus was deployed because there was no other option. He promised me that it will not happen again.
Meanwhile, the Lanka Private Bus Owners Association charges that the government has not taken any measures to raise bus fares to compensate for the increase in fuel prices. Chairman of the association, Gamna Vijay Ratna, noted that owing to this, the private bus industry is incurring a massive loss.
Up to now, we have not been given any fuel concessions and we are unable to cover the losses incurred. At present, the private buses are operating amid serious difficulties. Those engaged in this industry are incurring losses on a daily basis. This problem is continuing to drag on, and we hope that we could meet the President and find a solution to this. Last week we made representations to the Ministry Secretary to immediately grant us a concession and put it to the Cabinet once again and get it approved. Our Board of Directors will meet tomorrow to decide as to how we are to cover the losses owing to the increase in the fuel prices. When we inquired from the Minister of Private Transportation Services, C.B. Ratnayaka, in this regard, he noted that they are preparing to hold more discussions with the private bus associations over this issue.
Vehicle inspectors in the Hatton area conducted an inspection of vehicles such as vans, buses and three-wheelers transporting children. During the inspection, the inspectors prohibited the transportation of children in vehicles that only had third-party insurance. This program was organized by the Hatton Police. Meanwhile, drivers were also educated on road rules by the Noor Elia motor inspector. Meanwhile, the Hatton Police inspector had noted that strict legal action would be taken against drivers who do not adhere to road rules. Well, 23 persons who were engaged in illegal gem mining on the Karavita River in the Nivithigal area in Ratnapura have been taken into custody in a raid carried out by a group of officers from the raids unit of the Gem and Jewellery Authority.
The Gem and Jewellery Authority noted that the arrests were made with the assistance of the Police Special Task Force. 5 water motors along with other equipment used for the illegal mining have been taken into custody along with the suspects. Chief of the Raids Unit, Indunil Muthukumarana, noted that the suspects were fined a sum of 306,000 rupees. 1.2 million rupees have been collected as fines during the past week alone from individuals who were engaged in illegal gem mining within the Ratnapura district.
The Vavuniya police have arrested 2 individuals who had entered the Bogas Forest Reserve in Vavuniya and hunted a kapal lava, also known as the armadillo. The police stated that the 2 suspects are ex-Civil Defence Force members. They are to be produced before the Vavuniya magistrate today. The armadillo is considered an endangered amphibian. The case filed against former Army Commander Sarath Fonseca and retired Captain Senaka Harapia de Silva, who worked as his secretary, was taken up in the Colombo High Court today. The case was taken up before High Court Judge Sunil Rajapaksa. 41 charges have been filed against them, and these were revealed in the court today. The 41 charges include harbouring army deserters and turning them against the state. Still in local news, the Minister of Health notes that the Dengue Control Task Force will assemble once again tomorrow. Its Additional Secretary Dr. Palitha Mahipala stated that the meeting will be held at the Presidential Secretariat.
Additional Secretary to the Ministry, Dr. Palitha Mahipala, stated that the government has allocated 300 million rupees as funds for dengue eradication purposes for this year. He noted that special attention will be focused on the dengue eradication program and issues surrounding it at tomorrow's meeting. Meanwhile, the Minister of Health added that 28,140 dengue patients were reported last year, while 185 dengue-related